Hey everyone, finished watching the next Dino Thunder episode, The Passion of Connor. This is an episode that I remember really liking when I was younger. Didn't really hold up as well as I was hoping it would. Summary: Connor has a crush on a girl at school, Krista. She's an environmental activist trying to save an ancient tree that Principal Randall wants to get rid of. Mesagog, it turns out, wants the tree gone because of a serum it contains. Zeltrax, it turns out, is still alive, and he knows about the tree serum as well, somehow. At the school, Cassidy comes to cover the story of the tree for the news. Devin joins the activists and chains himself to the tree. Ethan and Connor start to talk, and Ethan knows Connor doesn't actually care about the tree, he's just trying to impress Krista. Connor confirms this, and Krista overhears. Connor doesn't seem particularly broken up about it. Principal Randall comes out and yells at the kids to move and tells a bulldozer driver to move forward. Krista refuses to move. Suddenly, some equipment falls over and almost hits Krista, but Connor uses his super speed to save her. Dr. Oliver convinces Randall to wait and talk things over about the tree later. Everyone leaves, but they forget about Devin, who's still chained to the tree. Connor goes to talk to Krista. He promises her that he won't let anything happen to the tree. Zeltrax shows up and uses a pump to suck out some of the serum from the tree. He tells Devin to tell the Rangers he's returned. Devin wriggles out of the tree and runs off. Elsa appears and threatens Zeltrax for some reason. Zeltrax absorbs the serum and grows stronger. He knocks Elsa away and zaps the tree, turning it into a new monster. Devin runs to Haley's cyberspace and tells Cassidy about what happened. The Rangers overhear. At the lab, the Rangers tell Tommy about Zeltrax's return. Haley info dumps that the tree was kept alive by a life spring underneath it, and that's what Mesagog wants. How does Haley know this? I don't know. Haley knows everything. There better be a twist at some point that she's actually Zordon's niece or something. Mesagog is angry that Zeltrax is alive. Everyone hates Zeltrax for some reason. I don't get it. He demands that Elsa retrieve the tree. Without the spring, it's useless. Why? Who cares? Connor sees Krista at the site of the tree, and he starts to doubt himself. He can't understand how Krista can feel so strongly about something, and he can't do the same. Tommy gives him a little pep talk, and he feels a little better. Holy crap, the Triptoids are back! They're not with Zeltrax, though. Elsa and the White Ranger clone are controlling them. What was the point of bringing them back here in this episode? The Rangers battle the Triptoids, except for Trent, because he's not in the Japanese footage. There's a weird thing Tommy finds out. By using their Dino Gem power, they can create a charge that depowers and destroys the Triptoids. What purpose does that serve? I don't know. Zeltrax shows up, powered up, with the tree monster. Elsa leaves, and the clone steals Trent's Zord again. The Rangers go to battle the clone and the monster, while Tommy fights Zeltrax, just like the good old days. I hate it. Trent shows up to help Tommy. Okay, well, that mixes up the formula a bit. Tommy tells the Rangers to combine all the Zords into the Triceramax Megazord. Using the Triceramax Megazord, they defeat the tree monster and the clone retreats. Zeltrax picks up a chunk of what's left of the tree monster and retreats. He returns to the site of the tree. Krista's there. He pushes her out of the way and tries to absorb what's left of the life spring. Connor jumps in to stop him, but Zeltrax gets away, taking Krista as a hostage. Connor summons his Battleizer mode and rescues Krista. He knocks Zeltrax out of his powered-up form. At the school, the Rangers talk to Krista about planting a new tree in place of the old one. Connor shows her that he genuinely cares by planting the new tree himself. I remembered liking this episode when I was younger, and it's definitely a strong outing for the most part. But yeah, it doesn't hold up as well on a rewatch. Most of the issues here are just like the same problems Dino Thunder has as a whole. There's a bunch of weird stuff with weird powers, and everyone just somehow knows about it and what it does, except for the people who don't know about it. This is such a nagging problem I have with Dino Thunder that no one else seems to have. The problem with this is that all the pieces are there to make a more connected story. What is the life spring? How does Mesagog know about it? How long has he known about it? Why does Zeltrax know about it? It seems so clear to me that they should have put this in. I don't know, maybe this was in an earlier version and it ended up getting cut? Because it makes a lot of sense. So my theory about what the actual story here is, Mesagog knows about the life spring because it's ancient. Maybe it was around at the time of dinosaurs. That is supposed to be a goal of Mesagog's, right? Wipe out humanity and return to a new age of dinosaurs? Oddly, though, for the motivation of the main villain, it's not really brought up or worked towards often. Mesogog's alter ego was Anton Mercer, who was a paleontologist with Tommy. Zeltrax was also a paleontologist and friends of theirs. The Lifespring, I think, should have been something that they all previously knew about. This would explain so much, why Mesogog knows about it and what it does, and why Zeltrax knows about it, and how Haley would know offhand what it is and what it does. Maybe this is why Mesogog recruited Elsa to be so close to this tree. All the pieces are there to create a more cohesive story. It fits together so naturally, and that's what makes me so frustrated with Dino Thunder, is that this keeps happening. There's, like, all the pieces are there, but they just can't figure out how to put them together. Krista not wanting Cassidy around the protest is weird. Shouldn't news coverage be exactly what she wants? What does it matter what Cassidy's personal position is? Cassidy, doesn't really care about the tree, so Krista doesn't want her around, but what's that matter? A good journalist should be able to report the facts without exposing any indication of their own personal bias. I like Devon's bit with being tied to the tree and then getting forgotten about. It's especially clever that what appeared to be just a joke turns out to be relevant to the plot. Devon is the one who sees Zeltrax and relays that information to the Rangers. The tree monster has a cool design. It's a shame we don't get to see much of him. An odd thing here, I'm not sure why Mesogog and Elsa are suddenly so against Zeltrax. They just suddenly turn on him, and I don't know where this is coming from. When he died before, yeah, they didn't like him. Zeltrax considers Mesogog and Elsa enemies, which I guess does fit his petty reasoning, so good character consistency there, I guess, but that still doesn't explain what Mesogog and Elsa's problem with him is. Mesogog and Elsa suddenly hate Zeltrax. I don't blame them, but as Elsa would say, don't they need a reason? So why are they mad at Zeltrax for stealing the serum? How did they know he was doing that? Why would they have a problem with it? It seems like it's a continuous resource. Shouldn't Mesogog have just been sneaking there at night and sucking the tree dry? He could have just been doing that instead of threatening to cut it down. That just brought more attention to it. He should have just been sneaky. Tommy's pep talk to Connor is a nice moment. I wish we could have seen more stuff like this, the Rangers having insecurities that Tommy has experience with and can give them advice on how to handle it. The problem with it here is it feels forced. It's only here so that they can have kind of a deep moment when Connor activates his battleizer, because otherwise, the battleizer just comes right out of nowhere. It doesn't mean anything. Even as it is, it doesn't really mean anything. It's so different from, all the previous times that we've had characters get battleizers. Usually, actually every time, the battleizer has come from somewhere, except here. Here's the only time where the battleizer just comes right out of nowhere. Speaking of things that come out of nowhere, the big Triceramax Megazord makes its debut, and it's pretty underwhelming. I mean, it's a big combined robot, and that's pretty cool, but it doesn't feel earned. This is what Megaforce would constantly do, just hand up power-ups and new combinations, for no other reason other than the Japanese footage did it. The weird thing, though, is Connor's battleizer stuff, that's all New Zealand footage. But it feels like the same problem the Megazord has. It works fine for Connor in this single episode, but it feels like it implies that all the Rangers potentially have hidden modes to their powers that they just haven't unlocked yet. The battleizer itself has some really silly-looking abilities. Stretchy arms, bouncy moon boots, the water gun things, and then a yo-yo. It has a yo-yo attack! This was an American exclusive thing. You can't blame this on Sentai silliness. This was American-made silliness. I think they really should have come up with some kind of reason for these abilities. As it is, it's just, what? The Triptoids finally make another appearance, and I really don't understand why they were bothered with it all. So far, the only episode with them where they make a difference is Game On. Every appearance since then has just been weird. They don't have abilities that make them any different from the Tyrannodrones. So why are they used at all? Game On set up that Zeltrax could control them, and that went nowhere. I really think they should have given the Triptoids some kind of connection to Zeltrax. Now that Zeltrax is on his own, away from Mesogog, it'd be kinda cool for him to have his own minions. The Triptoids being exclusively loyal to Zeltrax would have made them more interesting too. As they are, they're just those weird holdovers from an old episode that show up once in a while for no reason. Yeah, this episode did not hold up for me. I still consider it one of the better episodes of Dino Thunder, but it's nowhere near the hidden gem I remembered it being. So yeah, this one was a bit disappointing. So yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
Come forth! I am at your command!